All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Weekly Collective. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's great to see all of you. Thank you for making some time in your schedule and joining in. We have some foggy weather today. I brought the screen down so that there wasn't too much glare. Definitely can feel winter here in the Northern Hemisphere anyway, even in California. If you're brand new to the Weekly Collective, let me quickly break down how this works, and then we'll get into the topic today. So, the Weekly Collective, right there, that's the important thing. Everybody is welcome. All the messages comprised within this reading can be used for anybody that shows up. And most importantly, we start off right after the channel messages with a 7-day, sort of day-by-day forecast, which can help you calibrate which days to focus on, which days to kind of relax a little bit. It's basically your roadmap. We'll take a quick pulse check with all of the elements after that. And then the special topic today is basically just allowing me to channel. It's whatever you need to see. And honestly, I think that's one of the best ways to read, because then whether it's really, really great stuff or challenging or things that we wouldn't even think to ask, the guides and spirits can kind of like let me do my thing. So thanks for picking that. It's always fun as a reader to get that. So why don't we get started with the channeled messages? And today, there was some really cool stuff that was coming through in dreams and meditation. So let me look at my notes here and I'll talk about what I was getting in dreams. So this morning, one of the interesting things that came through was being able to be yourself. I know that this sounds crazy, but it was almost like when you meet like an actor on stage and then afterwards, you want to not meet the person up there, you want to meet the real person. And I was getting that sort of the drama masks, basically, Spirit was showing me. So people are interested in you for you. And the more you can be authentic, first of all, it's a lot less work. It's a lot more engaging. And it's going to, in the long run, just kind of help you attract authentic people in your life. So authenticity, that's star energy, because I was shown that sort of performative element, but also the real element. And if you can basically be the same and not have to have a persona, even better. So that was the first message that came through this morning. The other thing that I saw here was I've been noticing around, at least in LA, there's a bunch of these automated cars, which is bizarre. I don't know if I'd want to take a ride in them just yet. But in the dream, what I was seeing was being unable to stop a car. And there are a couple of ways that we can look at this. First and foremost, it's chariot energy at the core. So there may be a moment in your life where you're wondering, is this the path that I want to continue on? And if not, am I going to take the reins? Am I ready to speak up, to take a turn to the right or to the left or in some other direction? It also reminds you that sometimes once the momentum has started, you do have to just sort of see something through. There are certain situations where, like if you're on a plane flight, you're not going to be able to get off until you reach your destination. Finish what you started, and then you can figure out how to reroute. So the first and the most powerful thing here is the decision, how far do I want to go on this journey, and what am I going to do next? We've been talking a lot about it, it feels like, in the monthly readings, which by the end of this week should be done for December. But I get a lot of messages around basically knowing where you're going, because if you can do that, Spirit can show up for you and help you out and kind of show you synchronicities and blinking green lights of where to go, right? All right, let's see. And then I think that, and that's pretty much it. Like, I know that that not being rehearsed piece, I think, is the hardest. Just trusting yourself and being confident enough in your own skin to just show up as you are, and people can take it or leave it, right? All right, let me show you Apollo before we get into the next section. He should be right behind me. Let me just get the camera. Let's see if he's within sight. There he is, chewing on the blanket. What are you doing, buddy? You just need a little attention? Let's pull you up for a second. He says, Dad, don't forget about me. All right, so let's give Apollo a little bit of love here before we get started, so that a lot of times when I start the readings, he's just like, Dad, I miss you. Let's hang out. So I'll bring him right up to the main camera and we'll show him some love. All right. Usually a very good boy, but today just getting rid of some of that frustration. And I think we can all relate with that. Let's get into the 7-day forecast. So 7-day forecast, just like it sounds, is going to allow us to basically look and see what this week has in store for us. So let's see which call to use this deck. Okay. Just to clear our minds a little bit, close your eyes, take a deep breath, let go of any persistent thoughts that might be coming through in this moment in time, and let's just see what's coming through. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. Trust me, Apollo is not missing any energy of love. He just, he might need a little snack. So let me pull all of these cards and then I'm gonna maybe give him a little snack. But we're gonna get the days of the week first because I just took him on a walk. All right. I'll let you look at them while I give him a little bit of food. Puppies come first, always, right? All right, so here's the weekly spread. Let me get him some food and we'll be right back. Come on, buddy. Yeah, he was just hungry. Okay, I've gotten pretty good at speaking dog. As many of you are, I'm sure, if you have a pet. Okay, let's focus on this 7-day forecast. We're gonna begin with the energy of today. We're gonna look at Sunday first. All right, so for this Sunday, exactly what I was doing there. Look at what this page is doing. He's kind of opening up, listening. Communication is a two-way street. So whether it's the Page of Wands or the Page of Swords, it's really important to check your assumptions. Did I hear you right? Is that correct? And make sure that everything is basically clearly communicated and clearly understood. And, you know, it's going to be a two-way street on that. This is also about expressing yourself. If there is an idea that you have, if there is something that makes you curious, inspired, or even confused, this is also about speaking up and letting somebody know that, right? Today, especially, is a great day to do some planning. Now, we got the Devil card for the daily pull. We can marry it up with this, and here's what I would say. If there's something you don't like in your life, if there's someone that concerns you, or if there's something that's not right where you want it to be right now, this is a great day to plan out how you're going to deal with that. And that intention that we were talking about in the channeled messages will help you make a better decision and a better path. And so this is really great for putting it into some sort of paper format and just get it all written out and sort of charted out. So that's a great message here as well. I like that on his necklace he has a little sunflower. It's kind of leading you into Queen of Wands energy, which is eventually saying lead, don't follow. And when devil energy comes through, sometimes it's someone tempting you or trying to convince you to do something that doesn't feel right. So you want to be the sun, not the sunflower. Be the light, not the follower. And I think that that's the main message here on this card, okay? So there you go. A little bit of help with the Devil card that we got today. One thing that I didn't say with the Devil card too is that sometimes people just can't give you what you want. The Devil shows like there's attachments. And so this is you just kind of looking for things in your life that can deliver on what your worth is. And I think I did talk about that a little bit in the daily. So let's now get back to this spread here. We're going to look at Monday. And the energy of Monday is around letting go. Four of Pentacles, he's holding on for dear life. A lot of times we hold on to something that no longer serves us. The devil, you know. For those of you that watch my channel, you know that's what I refer to this as. So there's a nice little bit of overlap here with this. So if there is someone or something in your life that constitutes that devil that you know, and someone says, well, at least you know how to deal with them, or at least it's predictable. To a degree, eventually, if it is something that doesn't reciprocate or serve your highest good, it's going to be not worth the exchange. When we're speaking of exchanges, we're looking at a currency card here. So it's important not to over-deliver to the point of exhaustion when it comes to activities, projects, also just investments. Really making sure that you're saving a little bit for you so that you can sustain And it's really important financially to be responsible on Monday. This makes sense, by the way, doesn't it? Here in the United States, we have Black Friday, but I think everybody gets to benefit from the Black Friday, Cyber Mondays, all these artificial pushes to consume. Make sure that it really serves your highest good, and it's an actual deal, and it's not going to be financially troubling in the long run. Put that in your cart and save for later, maybe, if you're not 100% sure. And then finally, this is about stress relief. A lot of times when we're holding on to any sort of stress or anxiety, it can build up in our shoulders. It can kind of build up here where we don't want it, around the heart space, because we want this to be open and clear so that our lungs and our heart can be healthy. But have you ever noticed when you're hunching over and kind of like holding on to things, exactly where that center ace is, that's where you start to hold on to things. And so exercise, meditation, therapy, all of these things can help if you feel like you need to let something go, but don't know how to do it just yet, okay? Looking at Tuesday, it's actually quite nice. Queen of Swords. This is where you can start to put a plan to its execution here and get it running. So if there's something that you want to do, you need to say, or need to get started, the Queen of Swords is saying this is a day to be active, to communicate that, and to really get things rolling. It's really interesting here because there's this little tiny bird in the corner. Because we're entering into a retrograde period, do make sure that you get at least one other set of eyes and ears to look at something, just to make sure that you're not missing either the tone or maybe an important word or something of that nature. Also just typos and things like that, especially when we're looking at any written communication that might be going out there. This is a great day to deal with any sort of contracts, legal issues. Listen, life doesn't wait for retrograde. So my rule of thumb is it's RE words. So if you're revising, reviewing, or editing something that began before retrograde, it's okay. And if there's anything else in your life that needs to be revisited and basically sorted out, as long as it isn't brand new, even if it is brand new, this is when you just want to make sure that it's really, you're taking your time, you're getting 2 or 3 sets of eyes and ears on it, and then you move forward. Sometimes, like, life doesn't wait for the planets, folks. You have to sometimes make major decisions, especially like if you have a baby or anything like that's happening, life happens, right? So be as sort of like methodical and tuned in as you can, and you'll be fine. I don't operate with fear during planetary movements, just awareness. That's all it's about. Be aware, and then decide if you want to move forward. Okay, so we have 2 cards coming through for the midweek. Let's look at the one that's underneath the ace here. So 6 of Swords. There could be, and we have the other one is the Ace of Wands. So there could be good news coming from afar, literally, if we kind of combine these two together. You might be hearing from someone that you haven't talked to in a long time. If you're waiting for feedback on something that you put out there for consideration, like a job application, some sort of correspondence, this is the day where there might be some sort of indication that it was either received or a callback. Other things that we're looking at here. This might be a really nice time for you just to get some distance from a person, place, or thing, or a project so that you can clear your mind. 6 of Swords in this particular deck is solo. We don't have a passenger. And sometimes we just need, I love that there's dragonflies on that, by the way. Sometimes if we can get to a slightly distant place and just think about things without the distraction or the influence of others, it gives us what? New ideas and a fresh perspective. And that's how this ace is empowered. So we have dragonflies and butterflies. Both have transformational sort of life cycles where they go through a metamorphosis. They start as one thing and end as another. So you might be deciding also to change direction. Maybe moving, maybe doing it could be a literal move, a career move, or you might be deciding to get in or out of something like a relationship or something of that nature. But sleep on the decision, get some perspective, get some distance. You'll get the clarity that you need. You really won't probably need to check it with anyone. You just needed that space, that time and space to get there, right? I like what I see here as Thursday comes through. We have the 10 of Pentacles representing, first and foremost, just a good amount of resources that are available to you, but also what you see on this card. It could be friends, families, peers, I mentioned that there could be a birth coming through for some of you this week. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's retrograde or not. That changes every single year, and it's not going to harm your child. It's just a fun little quirk. And it just means that there could be some traffic, there could be some delays here or there. Just embrace it. Babies come when they need to. Things happen when they need to. You meet people when you need to. If it's a retrograde or not, it doesn't matter. What I do like is this could be a birthing moment, like figuratively speaking. So that idea that we saw coming through in the midweek here, in the form of this little baby, as we're watching that elder kind of like, it's a spark, an intuition. So birthing is metaphorical as well. So if there's something that you need to put forth into the world, Thursday may be the day. This is a good day for networking. It's a great day for spending with friends, with family, of course. This is exactly what I'd expect to see on Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving week. And also just if there's anything that you want to develop for your own self, like personal development, etc., this is a great card for that. It's a beautiful energy coming through. It makes a lot of sense, right? But for everybody else, because not everybody celebrates this holiday, it is just like you can get a lot of business done. You can spend some time with friends, and it's a good time to build or release something as well. Okay? Lovely, lovely card for U.S. Thanksgiving. Okay, focusing now on Friday. This is interesting. We have, for some of you, there could be partnership this week. And partnership doesn't have to just be romantic. You know that if you've watched my channel long enough. But this card can welcome in someone from a circle of friends. So some of you might be meeting somebody new on Friday, but for the rest of us, let's kind of read what this is about. Don't mince words, don't waste time. The King of Swords is one of the most expedient and no-nonsense cards, especially reversed, because he's just going to say yes, no, let's do this, let's do that, very clear. The only thing that's challenging with the King of Swords reversed could be blunt delivery and maybe, what's the best word that I can use? Insensitive timing. So it's always appropriate and advisable, if you're going to have an important conversation, to check in with somebody first and really listen, not just how are you? I'm fine. Great. Okay, let's go. Really say, well, what's going on? Or, I know you're working on this. Is everything going well with that? Like show them that you listen to something that's going on in their life. And if they were sick, are you feeling better? And then say, hey, there's also something that I wanted to talk about. Do you have time today to do that? What would be a good time? So check to make sure that the audience is ready, whether it's an audience of one or many. Try to find the best possible time. And I think that's the key to success here, is just making sure that they're not distracted, letting them know that there might be something important, and trying to find a mutually beneficial time to talk. But on the bright side, these cards come through in a position for a reason. If you need to say something, say it. It's like a Band-Aid sometimes. You just have to get it out there. So check the timing, check the reception, but then express it and move on, okay? Looking now at next weekend, let's see what we've got here. So as we're looking at the energy of Saturday, we have the moon. So the moon card is great for taking care of yourself, checking in, listening to your intuition. It is also a day to be honest with yourself and with others, because it doesn't always represent honesty. We see the wolves in the background here. And usually there's a wolf and a dog on this card, but follow your instincts. If it feels right, it is. If it doesn't, then wait. And also, more often than not, the truth will set you free. Authenticity, it's really kind of, truth is key here. She's holding several keys. Just say what you need to say. I feel like it's extended from Friday to Saturday as well. Highly creative, highly empathetic, really psychic. So this is a great day also if you've been trying to solve a problem or get clarity on something. It feels like it's all starting to come into focus for you, so that's good. We got both of the favorable 10 cards here, the 10 of Pentacles and now the 10 of Cups. Suffice it to say, throughout this week, there's a lot of energy around people. But as we look at a week from today, this is the more playful of the two. So this could be hanging out with friends. There could be a party. There could be something just for fun. And I think that's a great sort of energy. This could also be something that you're trying to build, community, progress on something. And I really do think, though, that this is about finding like-minded individuals, decompressing a bit. And if you are looking for love this week, we got a lot of air energy that came through, and we have 2 cards that can represent taking it to the next level. So why don't we take a quick look at the highlights and challenges, and then we'll move on to the elements. So highlights for this week, I think something magical can happen around the middle of the week. So the fact that we have 2 cards here on Wednesday, one of them being an ace, portends great things. And then it's basically bookended by the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, speaking something into existence, getting some distance on, what it is that you want and figuring out how to do it, and then maybe getting some buy-in from people. This is great for business. Like I said, not everyone's having a holiday this week. Even if you are, you can still get some stuff done. I think the challenging time here is possibly Friday and Monday. So it's interesting. The middle is magical. The beginning and end could be a little bit challenging, so just be gentle with yourself on those days. Okay? Overall, not a bad week ahead. Let's just create some space on this table, and we're going to now take a look at the elements. Of course, the elemental portion is going to help us drill into all the signs just a little bit: fire, earth, air, and water. Let me see which deck I want to use on this one. I think I'm going to use the lights here, and then we're going to use a different deck for the main spread. Okay. As I said before, I can't use all of my old decks because YouTube has gotten more stringent. If there's any nudity in any of them, they get flagged. So I've had to retire a lot. So I'm going to start to look for some new ones, and I might put a community post up for some suggestions. Okay. Fire, earth, air, and water. Okay, let's begin with fire signs: Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So really interestingly, this is connected to the energy of Wednesday, because 6 of Swords and 8 of Cups are very similar: getting some distance, moving on. Something could be coming back to you. In the traditional 8 of Cups, you would see the 8 cups and space there for an extra one, and a person taking a hike, kind of like she is. So sometimes there was a missed opportunity from the past. I wish I could have said this. I wish I could have done this. Or something didn't work out before. Like you tried and you didn't succeed in the past, but now the future is bringing in something for you to give it a shot again. So this time around, don't second guess yourself. You're older, wiser, and more prepared. Or this is a more deserving energy of what you've kind of leveled up to. So there could be an opportunity cycling back from the past, and that's great. This is also a chance for you to, before making a major decision to like say goodbye to something, like quitting a job or making a major move, you take a trip or you give it some time and see if you still feel the same in a day, in a week, in a month, etc. So it's a sabbatical or some distance before making a major life change. Most importantly and most powerfully with the 8 of Cups, this card reminds you that there's a potential to leave an open door. So I mentioned sabbatical for those in academic circles. Maybe you can take a leave of absence or sabbatical. For everyone else, you may, if you decide to like part ways with someone or something, they may say, you know what, I would love, if you ever change your mind, the door is always open. Please keep in touch and let me know how you're doing. Don't burn any bridges. You never know when you need to cross that bridge again. And that's the main message for fire. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, second chances, an opportunity for you to release old things, and also a chance for maybe you to approach something with a fresh set of eyes. Okay, let's take a look at, from fire, let's go to earth. We have the 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords in reverse. Quality and quantity of sleep may be lacking this week. Some of you may be traveling. Some of you may be working really hard. Some of you may just be burned out. The important thing on this one, earth signs, is to take care of yourself, because this facilitates the healing of the heart. So it's not accidental that 4 of Swords comes after the 3 of Swords. It's a chance for you to process things. So slow down and remember less is more this week. And if you are feeling fatigued or like you just are a little overwhelmed, that's also a chance to kind of check in with a healthcare professional and see if it's more than just the body, maybe it's emotions. But the big thing here is don't burn yourself out. Say no to a few things, rest more, and figure out what works best for you as far as how many hours in a given night that you need. So I think that's everything on that. Interestingly enough, with the Six of Swords and the Four of Swords, they are also cards associated with grieving and releasing. And this one is the final stage, usually. You're putting it to rest. In the traditional Four of Swords, there's a sepulcher, aka a coffin. There's the figure of a person on the sepulcher, 3 swords above, 1 below, and it's basically putting things to rest and then getting that invigoration that happens after you've passed the grieving period. So if there is an emotion that you haven't dealt with, now is the time to deal with it. You're going to make up for lost time later, and it's really important to be gentle with yourself in this period of time. Moving on to the air signs. We have the Queen of Cups. She is reversed. She's reminding you not to make a decision when you are feeling heightened emotions. Excitement, fear, anxiety, any emotion when it's heightened, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you really want to be mindful of that. Don't underestimate your ability to push out charisma and your own sort of influence to make something happen. See it as a glass half full, not half empty. It's almost like she's in this giant cup herself, and she's starting to call the energy in. But if it's reversed and you start to just fear, like it's not happening, this isn't working, you're starting to push the energy away. So pay special attention to thoughts this week and focus on what you can control. Take care of yourself. There's a lot of messages around self-care this week. But for you, I feel like the company that you're keeping, especially because we got these 210 cards, it could just be a lot. Libra likes to be in a crowd, especially if it's being seen. But I feel like the Libras out there might need a little bit of time to themselves. Gemini, a lot of times you can absorb way too much information from everybody, and I feel like it might be hard for you to concentrate. And Aquarius, you may fare the best of all the air signs, but it just feels like there's a lot of heavy energy, and speak your truth and get some space if you need to, okay? And that's what I'm picking up on here. The good news with this, though, highly creative. You can get a lot done in any sort of creative endeavor this week. Take care of yourself, focus on what matters most, pull back a little bit from engagements, and especially if you don't like the people, don't hang out with them this week. It's okay. Because there are holidays for some of you, obligations and things like that, you can say no. You don't have to go to everything, okay? All right, moving on to water, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. There are some messages from the past coming forth right now. So 5 of Pentacles often comes when we are facing what feels like the same old, here we go again. What I'm getting is it's kind of like this message that you put out there. I have bad luck with, and then fill in the blank. It could be getting a job, finding the relationship that you want, finding a right place to live, whatever it is, whatever you've been experiencing. But the cycle is ending this week, and there's the key right there to make the change. And it's really important to change the thought to, I'm tired of this and I'm making a change. Enough now. Let's try this instead. And you're going to open up new doors of opportunity. And one of the things that I love about this illustration is we don't see the other party there. Usually in the traditional 5 of Pentacles, you see 2 people out in the cold and there's like safety behind them. It could be like a church or a synagogue or something where they could go for safety. But in this card, it's just you. And the message here is you can always rely on yourself. And at the end of the day, you don't need validation from the person that couldn't give it to you anyway because of their own insecurities or their own pain or hurt. And this is a time to rebuild yourself. Find people that can support you, distance yourself from those who can't or won't, and focus on healing. This can also, speaking of healing, have to do with the feet and the ankles. It's a little harder to see in this particular card, which for some reason isn't focusing. But traditionally, there would be someone on crutches. So make sure that if you've ever had an ankle sprain, a broken bone, or anything with the foot or the ankle, especially like today, we had some rain in LA, you just want to make sure that you don't slip on the pavement, watch where you're going, don't multitask too much. Okay, everybody? Let's see if there's anything else here. Well, one last thing we were talking to water. The key is here, but you have to turn the key. And it's kind of like, we had an ace at the middle of the week, and I think this is the point that you want to focus on. If you have an idea, you're the best agent to make the change, to bring it into focus, to make it happen. So procrastination stops this week, and you just decide how and when. And if you can do that, I feel like you can start to come into your power. Okay? All right. While I'm getting everything set up, just a quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you're enjoying this reading or any of the readings that I do me a favor and like and subscribe. It's free. And then that way you're not going to miss out on future readings. So there we go. All right, I'm going to let the cards decide here on what I'm going to do for the main reading. There's a couple of decks here that I'm called, although I really like the Curious. This is almost what I'm called to read with, but we'll see. And maybe one more. Let's see. Because we could use a little magic. Okay, let's see which deck wants to be used. So we have the Knight of Wands. Stop it. Knight of Wands. The World. Okay, we're going to use the magical deck. How funny is that? I feel like this is a, we're going to keep it to the side. I might use this for some of the other parts of it. So definitely that's a message. So we'll keep that to the side. Okay, but we're going to start off with the butterfly message here of the World first and foremost. All right, let me just put this deck to the side. We're going to focus on receiving messages that need to come through. This is about what you need to know. This is a fun deck too. And I love the gold sparkly leafing on this as well, or the gilded corners. That's a really amazing card to come through. Clearly showing us one of the things that we need to focus on. All right, here we go, folks. Let's take a look here at the catalyst first. So we have the scarecrow and the crow on top of this, and it's saying really the only thing to be afraid of is fear itself. Catalyst helps you get unstuck in particular. And so that Five of Pentacles that came through is definitely connected to this. The Four of Pentacles too, fear of letting go because you think, well, what if this is as good as it gets? What if there's something even better? This card is reminding you not to let fear stand in the way of manifestation. Listen to your higher calling, to your higher voice. Don't let those lower frequency energies hold you back, hold you down, etc. And sometimes what we think is going to be really difficult, a conversation, a negotiation, even just like the first day at doing something, it's not as bad as it seems. It's just this straw scarecrow here, right? It's representing a shadow of something, not the actual truth of it. And a little bit of butterflies. We have a butterfly at the center. It's normal when you start something new to feel that sense of, can I do it, right? And so, what a cute butterfly for the World card. So it's okay, especially if it's big, especially if you care. For those of you that are performers or public speakers, teachers, anybody that has to step in front of a group, you know that sometimes there's nerves, but it's worth it if it's something that you care about. Everybody's a little bit nervous in the beginning of something, if they care about it. So don't let fear stand in the way. All right, let's take a look at these cards here. I love that Three of Pentacles is in the outcome. This basically shows that you have a chance of mastering whatever it is, whether it's your fear or something new. You're going to be able to overcome it and maybe even use it in a positive way to your benefit. We see also the ability for you to speak up and open a door of opportunity. A couple of pages, Page of Swords, Page of Wands coming through. It's actually pretty good. And an ace as well. I like this. There's nothing here except for impatience that's kind of, causing concern. So let's go to the butterflies. This can be the figurative butterflies in your stomach, but look at what it's connected to, the World card. And I love that they showed metamorphosis as a sort of symbol of this final stage. As you go through the journey of the Fool, which is basically what the 21 cards in the major arcana represent, from 0, the Fool, to 21, it is, you change, you're not the same. So there are things that have happened to you in the past couple of months, the past couple of years, that have shifted you energetically. And you are ready for the next thing energetically. But there could be something here or here in your brain, not your third eye, but in your brain where you're thinking, I don't know if I can do it. Or again, fear that's kind of stuck around the heart center that is holding you back. But this card wouldn't appear if it wasn't your moment to expand. So we want to focus on expansive thoughts. It's interesting that the card that I pulled yesterday for today, the Devil, is about contracting thoughts, like limiting. Those strings that I was showing on the Lightseer's deck, he wants to hold you in place with things. So this is a time not to limit, but to explore, okay? This is a really good card for everybody. In business, it means getting bigger, expanding, globalization rather, I should say. For those of you that are writing or publishing or trying to get something out there, it represents distributing and reaching a larger audience. And in general, it's saying go big, don't go small. It's everything. Some of you are also thinking of moving or have just moved, and that card is confirming that. To that end, if it is something extremely different, not just like the final stage of something, but if you're going to take a turn to the right, to the left, or go back in another direction, Eight of Cups came through again. Remember, this is the one where the person travels a little bit and gets some distance. She's weepy a little bit there. She's got to let go of the emotions. Interestingly enough, we can see in this particular energy, the Tower is in the background. So she just went through a pivotal change or awakening. I'm going to pull the traditional card while we're talking, since this is the second time it came through. But I do think that the distance can help you make peace with the fact that, like, some of you are just realizing this is really happening. Like, I need to be ready because this is where I need to go. Some of you just need to decide that you're really ready. So getting that sort of clarity, I think, is the most important takeaway. So hopefully I can pull this card here. The other thing with the Eight of Cups, like I said, it's a second chance. You weren't ready before, you are ready now. There could have been distracting thoughts, here we go, or just something that wasn't stable enough before. So this Eight of Cups tells a much different and much more important sort of vision of it. So get the distance, you can come back later and then figure out, am I in, am I out? Also, getting out into nature is a great thing to do in this moment in time. Taking a hike, taking a one-day vacation, taking a sick day, doing anything you need to just get away from the world a little bit. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb and get the clarity that you need, because it's happening. Something big is happening for some of you, and you have to be as present as possible in order to decide what to do about that, okay? Generally speaking, positive with the world, okay? Particularly because the world was in the upright position, particularly because we have this really cute butterfly. Okay, let's look at your deep past. So I mentioned, for those of you that did get the Five of Pentacles, ooh, we got an extra card. I mentioned that you have to take action on something. There was the key, the skeleton key, and also the Moon card was showing that as well. There were a bunch of keys that kept coming through. So aces are only as good as the follow through, the action. So it's really important now to take the first step, especially since we have the world in the center. So the doorway is kind of open in this card too. What are you doing each and every day to just move the needle forward a little bit? There was a hidden card. Wow. Okay, look at that. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and then we have the King of Pentacles hidden beneath it. There's more than a little potential here. This is the beginning, and this is the ultimate card in that suit. I love that he's an archer, and I love that we're going into December here. There could be a great Sagittarius helping you out, even though that's not normally connected here, but it's what I'm seeing with this particular card. The other thing here is just that I was mentioning knowing where you're going, the importance of targeting, being clear, stating an intention. It can really help bring you to the distance here. And you are the best person to take it the distance here. So be the agent of creation, change, etc. Okay? Super, super cool that there was a hidden King of Coins, a hidden archer underneath that Ace of Pentacles. Don't miss out. So far, we have great, like a second chance, expansion, one of the ultimate cards related to money or resources, and then an idea that needs to be carried out. There could also be interest, like love interest, an earth sign that has their sights set on you, and it's just about you kind of like being at the right place at the right time. I feel like this is someone who seeks you out, not the reverse. Okay. So this is great too. So far, so good. If I was looking at all of the cards in Pentacles, this one is great because it represents self-sufficiency. Typically, there's a bunch of vines around her. She's lavishly dressed, and there's like this really big, ridiculous bird on her shoulder. She's not wanting or needing. It's more of an aspirational card. We want to get into that energy of abundance and an abundance way of thinking rather than a limited way of thinking, expansive. And that's really what I think the focus is on. I'm ready, I'm deserving. Let's explore all of these opportunities and find something where I can receive what I know I deserve. Not in an entitled way, but in an understanding way. Like this is it's like synchronistic, not just synchronistic, but symbiotic. It's like, it's the right fit. Like you deserve it. It's just recognizing your worth. One thing that you can do in this period is the next step in this is reaching out and stepping out of your hermit phase a little bit, because she's fiercely independent. But in order to kind of give that ace the help that it needs, and by the way, 9 + 1 is 10. So the next step is to bring it to a larger audience. And the World card is a larger audience. So if you've been working on something, it's time to take it to someone else. If you've been waiting to start something, or if you've been kind of like keeping something quiet, now is the time to be a little bit more vocal and bring it to that 10 of Pentacles. Okay? This is a very different moon card. This is the more illusion-based moon card. So the moon can represent that. It can be intuitive power and prowess, or it can be fear or deception or illusion. Because what is the moon but a reflection of the sun? It's not truly emanating the light, it's reflecting something. So when someone tricky comes into your life, they're reflecting something that you need to focus on. How did they come in? Is it a reflection of, a habit that you have, a vulnerability that you're putting out there and they're kind of coming through that crack? Or is it just simply the fear energy? Because I feel like that's what this is. And the moon card represents a fear of speaking your desires, your hopes, your fears. If you meet someone who is someone hopefully that you can trust and work with in the long run, you should feel comfortable there. If it's not there at the beginning, that's something to pay attention to. And it's not just about like something from the past where you're having a difficult time trusting, but like legitimately you're tuning in on something where it's like, that doesn't read as right. Listen to that. It's better to just get things out in the open, including like, why did you do this or what's going on here? If you see deceptive behavior, don't stand for it, Devil energy, moon energy, 7 of Swords, sometimes you just have to call it out and say stop, right? Okay. Once you deal with this, whether it's an actual fear or I should say something that's actually going on or just fear, then we start to see things opening up. I love that this Page of Swords is a door knocker. It's actually very Ebenezer Scrooge. It reminds me of A Christmas Carol. So Now we also are getting this message of, you just got the ace, now you're at the page. What are you going to do to take this and go the next level? So some of you may be knocking on doors trying to find a place where your project or idea or your skills can be capitalized or used and taken to the next level. So definitely I'm tuning into those job seekers out there, or the people that are self-employed or trying to get something published. It takes a minute, but don't give up, because that center card shows that it's worth the journey. Speaking your mind and listening. Pages do both. They need to listen to what's being said, pay attention to also like what's missing. If you're in a company or if you're in a family and everyone's complaining about something but nobody's doing it, you could step in and be the King of Swords, because we saw him coming through at the end of the week when I was looking at the 7-day forecast. So don't be afraid to step into a leadership role if no one else is making the necessary changes. Let me take a drink, and then we're going to take a look at you and where you're at. Okay. The Hanged Man. You're exactly where you need to be right now. This is reversed, so there's impatience sometimes with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man comes because there may be something that you were just about to miss. Like I was talking about typos or an important talking point if there's a presentation. Sometimes we get the delay and we love it. You know, someone's saying, oh, would you mind if you reschedule? Oh, that's too bad. And you're like, thank God, because I wasn't done. Sometimes the Hanged Man is impatience because of entitlement. And just trust the process, because this is one of the divinely guided cards. I'm going to pull the traditional card while we're talking. On the traditional illustration, you'll see a halo around the person's head. And that represents insight that comes through the delay. And the Hanged Man, if we go to the mythology of it, is actually sometimes even a delay that you initiate. Because Odin decided to hang upside down from the tree of knowledge in order to learn the secrets of the runes. So he waited there. He's like, I will wait until the time is right, and then I'll leave. And just about the time that I think he was ready to give up, he got all that energy coming through. So don't give up. Sometimes things come through at the 11th hour. And this is also just about looking at things from a different perspective. It's interesting that I think this is a vulture, right? It's a carrion bird at any point. So you might be also able to pick up the pieces of something before that was left as scraps, because that's what this bird does. You know, whether there's a lot of different carrion crows and birds, but basically they clean up the messes. So take a moment and clean up your own messes. Maybe you have to clean up someone else's, and maybe in the process of getting organized, you see something that was missed and you can take that and build on it. This is the recycling bird in the sort of like the chain, the food chain. So there might be something that shouldn't be thrown out, and you won't know unless you stop and look at it again. Okay? Someone else may not see the value, but you may. It is worthy. Something's worthy of a second examination. Okay. In the environment, it's almost like call and answer. So we have Page of Swords, which can be declaration, a wish, etc. And now we have the Page of Wands coming through and saying, oh, not only do I think that's a great idea, fellow page, but I have an idea too. So there's a great chance for you to partner. We have an idea person and we have someone that can open the doors. And together you're stronger. And it could also just be partnership too if you're looking for someone. In the environment, it's a fire sign. But this Page of Wands is also carrying with it magician energy. So it's like, and why not? Because the magician has all of the elements on his table. One of the wands can be magic. So something magical can happen if you just really devote yourself to an idea and take it to the next level. We saw that already in the deep past with the ace. This is a good week, folks. It's a great week, actually. Okay, now we have a Knight of Wands. What I'm also noticing, so we have Page, Page, Knight, and then a hidden King. So we have 4 different court cards. There's a lot of people and energies around you right now if you're willing and ready to look. So I think that making sure that you're not kind of like just pushing forward without checking to see how others feel or seeing if others can help, because you don't have to carry the burden alone this week. Okay. So we have the Knight of Wands. So we just had the Page of Wands. You can actually take something and really see progress happen this week. I like this. Aces, pages, knights. We're going in the right order here. Knights fight for what they care about. So if there's an idea that you really feel passionate about and it's not being heard, take it to the audience that will listen. It's worth it. And the knight is upright. The knight is not reversed. So you can see some traction. You can see some movement. It's just a matter of how committed you are to getting something to the next level. There could also be, because this is in hopes, fears, and opportunities, someone who comes into your life this week and taps you for an opportunity, sees your potential. It could also be a love interest. So we have a lot of fire. We have all the elements pretty much except water coming through. Even the moon card could be water. So no lack of ability to attract people or opportunities this week. Don't sleep on this week just because, especially those in the US, that it is connected to a holiday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are not, and you can get a lot done. This is true of the entire holiday season. I have some projects that I'm working on, some big things that are going on, and some are happening this month, some are happening next month. One is happening just a few days before a holiday, and I'm like, all right, that's how it was supposed to be. You never know what you can get done in these last, well, now it's more like a month and a week of this last year. But don't give up. We got time. Make it happen, folks. Okay. Especially in this 7-day period anyway, we're ending on the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles represents recognition, mastery, meaning basically that if you want to learn or do something, you do it to the level of not quite perfection, but like near that. It's everything that you were trying to do. And this is a great foundational card too. So for the writers out there or anybody that's trying to get something done, a proposal, you should be putting things into either like your journal or a written format or some sort of presentation. And this is a chance to shop that around because that's what's going to open up an opportunity. You don't have to have everything perfect. That's why I was like, it's not perfection. He's not finished. Look at the traditional Three of Pentacles. He's still putting the finishing touches, but it's going to be there. And the center card shows me that it's closer to being finished than you think. What might be needed at this point is final approvals, signatures on the dotted line. Like I said, whether or not the planets are in perfect alignment or not, it looks like there's a contract that needs to be figured out for some of you. Could be signing a lease, signing a marriage contract, signing any sort of agreement. So be it. Just look at it 2 or 3 times and make sure that you understand everything. And that's that. It's a good week, folks. Let's go ahead and expand this. We're going to go a little bit further into health, wealth, love, and destiny. And this is going to give us some additional perspective on those larger sort of aspects of our life. Starting with health, which is your mind, body, and spirit. And let's see here what came through in the Oracle card. So this is beautiful. Spirit Guardian of Spring, activation. Like I said, even though we're close to several holidays, taking out U.S. Thanksgiving because it's just one country. Like December, it's everything. There's so much going on. Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, Kwanzaa, and half a dozen other things that might be going on. It's a busy month, right? So this is a time where you can plant seeds and some of them will be activated in December. Some of them may take a few months. I'm looking at Northern Hemisphere here, but this may take until March and May of next year to fully germinate. And whether or not you're in the Northern Hemisphere, because I'm reading from that zone, the timelines could be the same. So set the seeds into motion right now and then have a very fruitful 3, 6, 9 months ahead. And this is also with respect to health. So if there's changes you want to make, they take time, right? It takes time to change your diet, to address issues that might have taken many years to create. They're going to take a few months or a few years to remedy, but it's worth it. Like, let's get active, let's get focused on what we want to deal with, and then better days ahead. Okay. Briefly looking at the cards and seeing what's going on, it's better to get information. If we go back to the catalyst, fear holds us back from making progress. I think in my science fiction book, I once said fear is the great equalizer. It is. It can hold anybody back, whether you're powerful or shy or whatever. Everybody experiences this at one point in their life. If they don't, I want to meet them. Most people have a little bit of fear or anxiety, and it's natural. It's about what you do with it that matters, okay? Let's see what's going on here. For some of you, you're deciding that you want to move. Maybe you've outgrown the place that you're in, because we saw in the 7-day forecast there could be expansion of families, moving in with someone new. Maybe there's a baby, maybe there's a new dog, maybe for whatever reason. Or you were in a studio and that was fine when you were in college, but now you're a little bit older and you've outgrown it. Or you just don't like where you're at. This is a chance to explore the options. And as we were talking about with the other 8 of Cups, which I'm just going to leave to the side, before making that major decision, explore. You don't have to do it overnight. Just make sure that you have explored all the options in front of you and that you've given it time and you're not doing something hastily. Because we don't want to... One away from the 8 of Cups is the 9 of Cups, and that can be like heightened emotion. So just make sure you've explored options before doing that. It's an otherwise pretty good spread. The moon represents what I was just talking about. Sometimes it can be like, because of the seasonal affect disorder, whatever, when there's less sunlight, it can just be the holidays bringing about heavier emotions. Sometimes we just feel sad. You think of people that are no longer here. You think of trying to measure up to expectations, anxiety over meeting the family for a holiday gathering. It's all natural. So just know that you're not alone and that there are a lot of resources if you need them. This can also be connected to women's moon cycles and everybody's sort of like how much water are you drinking, what's going on with your reproductive system. It's a good time to make sure that you're taking care of all parts of your body. And if you need to speak to a doctor about any of that, please do it. Otherwise, the only other card that's called to attention here is this. So as I was saying with the Hanged Man, it can deal with with this one, it's more like an Achilles tendon or the ankle or a sprained ankle in the past. If there's any weakening of the foot or specifically the ankle, you want to be mindful. Wear supportive shoes, watch where you're walking, slow down, and don't rush in anything that you're doing, particularly when it's involving your health. Slow and steady wins the race. Let's move on to wealth, resources, life, purpose, and career. Ooh, this is nice. We have love coming through here. So Eros, love, beautiful angelic energy with this one, but it's reversed. So one of the messages with this is, it's important to get this mantra going into your head, but it's that you are worthy. So if you can start the day, particularly when it comes to financial opportunities, wealth opportunities, or personal development opportunities, think to yourself, I'm ready, I'm worthy, and I'm open to receive this. Just saying that you're ready but not feeling that you're worthy, that can kind of sort of sometimes make it slower than it needs to be. Love and accept who you are. If you can't, how can I? So really feeling that you like either who you are or what you're doing to improve yourself, who you're becoming. Love attracts love, like attracts like. So we want to get that energy in the upright position. Rather than seeking love from others, find the love within, find others who love themselves and love you in return. It's not about finding your missing piece. It's about finding someone who reflects the work you've done and who loves themselves and loves you too. It's going to be healthier in the long run. And when it comes to, I know that this is weird to come through in wealth, but it is about self-worth. When you love yourself enough to say no when something isn't good enough, that shows that you're strong and that you can be a good leader and a good partner in business. It could be tricky this week. There could be a love interest coming through in a work gathering, or maybe there's a coworker. It's important eventually, if that's going to become serious, to talk to the appropriate people about that. Certain companies have certain policies. You just want to be in the open. Okay, enough about that. Let's focus on 3 major categories. We're going to look at those that have a job, that own a company, then we'll look at those who are looking for work, and then students and retirees. If you have a traditional job, meaning that you're working for someone else, not yourself, here's what I see. It can be full-time or part-time, by the way. So if you're working for someone else, there could be travel on the horizon. There could be expansion in your role. They see you and they want you to do more because it's basically saying, hey, you've done a lot. I want to invest in you. I want you to stick around. This is good. This is a perfect time for you to talk about career development. I'm so far removed now from corporate work. It's going to be 10 years in January, but I can't remember. For some companies, it's the end of the year for the following year. Sometimes you do it twice a year. Sometimes it's quarterly. But whenever your next, even if it's not going to be this month, I still feel like it's worth talking to your boss about future opportunities. Get it on the calendar if there's something that you want. For some of you, it could be to transfer to another division or another country for the company and work abroad or work remote. For some of you, it's that you want more responsibility or more autonomy. Talk about how to make it happen and say, I love working here. I've been having my eyes been in this area. How can we work to make this happen? Because you're showing commitment and you're a self-starter, and that's a very corporate phrase, but it's something that they typically like. You bring a lot of value. Don't underestimate that, okay? There could be some morale issues. Don't fall into the energies of gossip and don't get involved. If anything, try to be the change maker and deal with some of this. Again, there may not be other people that are listening. Bring solutions, not complaints. You can bring, if you have a complaint, make it constructive. Constructive criticism with a solution-based approach. You can tell I actually did work in corporate. What else? Just impatience in general. It's like, when is it my turn? I feel like soon, and it really does kind of depend on getting it in writing. Because we are getting into a retrograde soon, like, get it all in writing. But I do see something coming through. It could take up to 3 months, but this is a good card for anything that you can get written and agreed upon. All right, it's actually pretty good. I'm not that worried about people that have a job right now. It's just a decision like, what do you want to do next? And communicating that. That's the big opportunity. If you're looking for work, there are opportunities. One is in the past. One is something that you applied to before, and either the person left or there's something new that opened up with that. And if you see the same opening, apply again. Something fell through, you have a second shot at that. Someone may also reach out to you and say, you were our backup choice, the other person didn't pass the background check, are you still interested? There could be something like that that comes through. It's actually favorable because the world is underneath the Eight of Cups, because this looks so good. And I also see this is a great time to get salary, like a decent salary. So make sure that your negotiating skills are, on point, or get some practice. Because one thing I remember is, like, when you're first starting off, sometimes you don't know what to ask. So do some research online. The internet has made it a lot easier to find out what competitive salaries are and should be. Be prepared for that. There is competition. It may take a little bit of time, 2 or 3 days past what you expect, or 2 or 3 weeks past what you expect. But we do have a contractual card here, 3 of Pentacles. So just keep the lines of communication open. You may also need to talk to up to 3 people. There's not a sole decision maker, so they're going to wait until everybody weighs in. And again, if you're dealing with a US-based company with travel and holidays, it may take an extra week or so, but we do have a favorable outcome. Stay positive, stay diligent, and look beyond where you normally would. I think it is a good time to, if you were thinking about going to another country, do the research on the visas, do the research on the passport, on the citizenship, on all that stuff, and figure out, like, do I want to go down that channel, and can I, how can I make this work? There are options abroad for some of you. Okay, so we looked at those. Oh, I skipped over entrepreneurs, so let's do entrepreneurs next. Entrepreneurs, think bigger. You may be doing something that is a little bit too limited or predictable. The World card is about expanding the vision of the company. It's also about making sure that when you're marketing, you're looking at pockets that you normally wouldn't. It could be just a different, what do they call it? It's like a different section of people, segmentation. So a different segment that you normally wouldn't market to, you should be, and maybe even a different country. So slowly starting to reach out a little bit further. If there are complaints from customers, listen to them and address them in a way that is respectful, and find a solution. And that will help you on social media. That's going to help you with ratings. Because I see a few complaints, there might have been a misstep or something in the past, but there's so much positive momentum. If you have good customer service and good return policies and things of that nature, it's going to help you in the long run. People may even revise their reviews, okay? You can't request that, but you can just put good energy out there and hope for the best. Generally speaking, I like what I see. It feels like you might need to also expand the team. These are younger people. There could be some interns, some newer faces in the group. You don't have to do it all anymore. You should be looking at how to expand your company, perhaps either by 3 people or a factor of 3, okay? So I looked at those who had a job, then job seekers. Then I looked at those that are entrepreneurs. Now let's take a look at students. Students may be looking to study abroad. We have a lot of going bigger. You may also be close to finishing something, or you want to take it to the next level. So from high school to college, or college to grad school, or something of that nature. It feels like you're leveling up. What I like about this is there's plenty of options on the table in front of you, and literally as I'm looking at this, I think you should take a trip or 2 before making a major decision of where you want to study, where you want to live, where you want to work. Internships are really important in this period of time, and explore all that's in front of you. It feels very manageable, this spread. Impatience, like when am I going to get done? But let me say, this is one of the most magical times. When you're a student, you get to indulge and learn and absorb. It's very hard as you get older because you have more responsibilities. Have some fun, absorb, don't rush this. You'll be done before you know it, okay? Retirees, travel, finding something bigger, something that still inspires you. But there are 2 travel cards back to back here. Teaching or mentoring could be something that you're called to explore, called to do. There may also be a passion project that you've always wanted to do for yourself. Not only is it worth it, not only will it bring you a sense of value, but it actually may be something that could generate some income in the long run. So I see like a passion project, I see some travel, and an opportunity to teach, to mentor, or to learn something new. Lots of people coming in right now, and that's a nice segue into love and relationships. Let's see how it's affecting everyone. We're going to go a little lighter here since I went pretty deep into that. All right. Archangel Gabriel came through with the energy of coming out of your shell. It's time to be seen. Don't be afraid of your power and your gifts. Thank you, Archangel Gabriel, for that. Beautiful message. And it's basically going from the energy of the hermit to the star. The hermit carries the star in its lantern. Eventually, it's going to evolve into that. And we have this beautiful emergence here in the center as well. Okay, let me take a quick drink here, and then we're going to look at 3 different relationship statuses. I was just looking at the comments. It's so cool that many of you are teaching or working on your passion projects. Keep me posted as the week goes along. Let me know how much progress you make. Moving back to the energy of love and relationships. Okay, so people could be coming out of the woodwork here also. Someone that you didn't know was interested shows interest, so this is also cool. But we're going to look at this in 3 categories. Existing relationships, those that are looking for love, happily single. If you're currently in a relationship, whether or not it's you're married or what, it just means you've been together for a while. Here's what I'm picking up on. If you haven't kind of tied the knot or made it exclusive, this is about exclusivity. It's leveling up. So let's say maybe you've been dating for 3 years, or you've been dating for 3 months. The 3 years you may decide to get married, 3 months you might decide to move in with each other. Whatever it is, having that conversation is important, and we have call and answer here. It seems like the party's receptive. There's a little bit of hesitation and fear, but I see good stuff. So I think it's worth talking about what it is you're looking for. Planning a getaway could be fun as well. So anyway, let's move back to those that are maybe already in a again, long-term relationship, irrespective of the status. One thing that you can do to sort of strengthen it in this moment is to plan a trip. And it doesn't have to be It could be, abroad, but it can also just be, let's go to our favorite Airbnb in town and just, have someone else bring us breakfast and relax a little bit, do something, fun for each other. For those that are married and might have children, it's also about a date night. Getting away from everything and just the two of you could be really great. This is fantastic. So I like what the deep past shows me, that both of you, it seems like you're both ambitious, or that there's a lot of goals. This is a time to make sure that you're both seeing progress on it, to be the best champion of your partner and of your own goals. There doesn't have to be a sacrifice really here. I do see pregnancy coming in. Ace of Pentacles and the Moon card can represent a baby being conceived. So if you're trying to get pregnant, that could be good. If you're not, plan and be careful. But I do see a possible child in the mix here. Also, if you're thinking of expanding the family, you could be planning. Not everyone has baby through traditional methods. That you could be looking at surrogacy, adoption, IVF, so many other options out there, and you might just be starting the conversation on that. There's a lot coming through for current relationships. Here's the cool thing, though. There's nothing here that scares me. It all looks like it's fairly manageable. You're wrangling a lot of things at once, like a lot of activities, and there's a lot of voices and people around you. Again, it makes sense since there's a holiday here in some parts of the world, but like for everybody else, there's just a lot going on. Get your time and space together, and also for you, because I'm reading for you. If there's something that you're trying to keep under wraps, it may not be like a surprise party, or if there's a secret, it's better just to be honest and come out and say it, because it'll eventually see the light of day, and this isn't the time for secrets. Okay, that's pretty much everything here for those in a relationship. If you're looking for love, so many options. Like, no one sign is coming through for you. Many are coming through. When it's this populated, Page of Swords, Page of Wands, Knight of Wands, King of Pentacles, and then a water sign ostensibly with the moon, it's like, what are you looking for? You may be very, very open to just like, I just want to see what's out there. 3 of Cups. Then mission accomplished. There's a lot of options. I would just say be discerning. A couple of things that I see, though. There could be someone from the past that is now not attached to someone. And this time, it actually looks like it would be worth revisiting. Sometimes I say leave the past in the past. This time, it's a second chance. You have a chance to say or do what you needed to do in the past. Don't be afraid to express yourself. Get very honest with each other, though. There could be, we could also couple these two together where there's basically an air sign that isn't telling you everything. So if you start to see that the pieces aren't matching up, you can do better than that. There could also be a fire sign coming through that is very resistant to get involved. Hanged Man, and then there's passion, there's chemistry, but they just want to keep it casual. And then we have a Knight of Wands that really wants to just get married. So you have choices. These two are the most compelling. It's what you're looking for. So I'm just saying there's a lot of options here. Figure out what it is that you want. It's a great time. Tell the truth. That's the most important thing. And make sure that the other person is honest too. Don't rush. I think it is good to take it slowly and get to know them. Conversation, communication is everything. If you don't have that, because Gabriel came through, that should be a little bit of a red flag. You should be able to speak freely. If you're single and happy, good for you. A lot of opportunities knocking. I'm looking at the door knocker here. So ideas are coming forth, maybe more than you can almost like put to paper or put to practice or action. I feel like it's a really good time financially, professionally, and personally, developmentally. You can do so much. It's going to be a very productive week, and it's probably perfect that you're unencumbered. Great time to take or plan a trip as well. Okay. Destiny energy. Maturity. That's what it's all about, folks. You're at a point now where wisdom is coming forth, and wisdom often doesn't always come with age. I know a lot of people that are older and lack common sense, but you've been through some stuff. The metamorphosis energy of the butterfly at the center. Like I said, you're not the same person you were the last time you tuned in or a couple years ago or whatever it's been. Like there's been maturation that's happened. And All that's really necessary here, because we're looking at destiny, is for you to embrace the knowing that I am ready. I am more mature. I am more capable in this moment of handling whatever opportunity is knocking. Okay? Let's go to the big idea. What is it, this week in particular, that everybody should be focusing on? What is it that we haven't looked at yet? You have so many aces. So we have the Ace of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Swords, we have the Page of Swords, like lots of aces. Getting organized, I think that's one thing here, but okay. So the Ace of Swords. Speaking something when it comes to you. This was something that I was just reminiscing with a former coworker. One of the reasons that I left one of the companies that I was at was I remember a meeting where every single one of my ideas for an upcoming project that I was on was shot down. And it was the only time, I'm usually not sassy. I'm usually very positive, but at some point in the meeting I felt defeated and I'm like, maybe I should just shut up, or maybe there's something else I should be doing, because like at least these should be put up there for consideration. And then I got in trouble for saying that, but I was right. You shouldn't discount an idea until all of them are captured. And my voice wasn't welcome. My input wasn't being utilized, and I was spinning wheels. And I should have been doing something else. And it wasn't wrong of me. And if that person, all that I was told was like, never discount yourself. What I should have said is maybe you should listen, but that would have been subordination. I knew the line in the sand, and it was fine. It was a few months before I decided to quit. But like, you learn that your voice matters, right? So in this moment, if you can't express yourself, find a place where your voice is being heard and remembered and listened to. Capture your ideas. So every night, even if I don't want to do it, if I'm like really, I'm in such a great sleep, but I'm going to forget this. So if there's something that I've received for the next day, for the next sign, I wake up, I try to tap it into my phone, then I go back to sleep. Ideas can happen at any time, at 2 a.m, when you're taking a shower, when you're walking the dog. Whenever the muse visits you, make sure that you're putting it to your phone. Like nowadays, we don't really type it in or like put it in a journal. We just kind of like do a voice memo or put it in our phone. Make sure you're capturing that idea. Writing, journaling, communicating. Ace of Swords. I like that we have a unicorn on this because, I'm using the last unicorn deck, but this is an important time to be unique in your voice. Your singular voice, special voice, is what is going to be needed in this next chapter. Don't underestimate it. Don't let anybody mute it. And just like me, if there comes a point where it's like I'm not being appreciated or utilized, it's a wake-up call. You don't have to decide immediately. I didn't, but that was one of the deciding factors, one of many. And then I was just like, I think I can do something else. I think I can do better than this. I think I can go somewhere where people care what I have to say. So pay attention to the signs and the signals. They're important. Okay, we're going to look at a final card in just a moment. I'm going to look at this from the perspective one more time of what you need to see and know, just kind of quickly going through it. You're sitting on an idea or some potential, but you need to take action. So that's like no nonsense from the guides. You may have to be the person that goes knocking on the doors to find a person that's interested in something that you're working on. It's worth reaching out to someone rather than waiting for them to come to you. I see a lot of really rich, literally, and positive energy around work, money, and resources. King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. Nary a bad one in this spread. So no matter where you're at, where you're going looks better. And what we saw here with the fear, don't be afraid that this is how it's always going to be or that this is the limit. There could be new people coming into your life in this moment in time, but they're going to kind of hinge on the self-love. So it's really important to love who you are, to see your maturity, and to activate some of these potential cards that came through, including the 2 aces. Got a lot of aces this week. So far, so good, folks. Couple of additional pieces that we're going to do here. We're going to quickly meditate, and then I do something special where we do a final card. I think I still have memberships to give away. So after we meditate and I pull the final card, I'll do a membership giveaway. So stick around so you can get that. Again, one more time, if you haven't already liked and subscribed, consider doing that. And if you'd like to give me a follow on social media, I'm on all major platforms. I'm also on emerging platforms like Blue Sky. And you can get all those links on my website. And Dakota will put a few out there as well. Okay, let's do a quick meditation, and then we'll get into that final card. So for this meditation today, we're going to work with a unicorn, of course, since I'm using that deck. I want you to close your eyes and imagine that something that you truly wish or desire is within reach. The unicorn brings us to that energy of magic, and you can see the unicorn in front of you if you want to. And just imagine that you could make a wish for happiness, for healing, for personal success, for somebody else's growth and happiness, whatever your wish is. Let's make that wish before January 1st. Let's set this into kind of like trajectory and into motion now. So imagine that you could put your forehead against the unicorn and just kind of like intuit the wish and just know that it's been heard. Focus now on the horizon. Just like Los Angeles, imagine that the clouds are starting to clear in the sky, that maybe there's even a rainbow after the storm has passed, the storm representing challenges, sadness, difficulty, and you can see the sun rising. You can see the unicorn in the distance. You know that your wish has been heard and been seen by the powers that be. Now all you have to do is feel this sense of preparation and readiness, and really think to yourself, just 2 mantras: I am ready and I am worthy. That is going to tell the universe now. And it's going to help bring it in faster rather than just putting a wish and hoping for the best, like dandelion seeds to the wind. I'm ready and worthy now, you can even say if you want to receive. And imagine, if you will, that that sense of worth just creates an opening in the heart space, since we had the 4 of Pentacles earlier, melting away any fear, anxiety, or doubt. Take a deep breath. Keep that energy of openness with you in the week ahead. And let's look at one last card. Your final question for today can be anything that you still need some advice or guidance on. Go ahead, send that out to the universe. And let's see what you got. So final card, final question. We got the Page of Pentacles or coins in reverse. Sometimes if you need something, you have to ask. And it's not always easy to do so. Pages are communicative. Coins are all about time, energy, money, or opportunity. If you want it and you feel worthy, it might be time to just say, this is something I'm passionate about. What do we do to make it happen? Not, do you think I can do it? What do we do to make it happen? And because we got that bonus card, and I just remembered the Knight of Wands, I do think things can start to happen faster than you think. It is just a matter of initiating it. Sometimes people are waiting for that initiative. That's what I'm picking up on with this. You can also decide to take something that you've worked hard for, abundance, and invest in yourself for like education, healing, personal development, etc. Take care of yourself. As a yes or no, it's yes, comma, but you may have to ask, or you may have to push a little bit, or you may have to invest a little bit to make this happen. It's not just automatic. Okay? All right. Let's take a moment here and do a membership gift. So, all right. So let me just pull up the main video. As I'm doing that, again, like and subscribe if you haven't. It's free. And let's see here. It just takes me a second because I have to basically pull up the main thing. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I still have 5 left. I do. All right. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Here are 5 memberships for those of you that are kind enough to just be present here. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Lots of love and light to you. Enjoy that. And now we're going to take a couple of moments here to express thanks and gratitude for those who gave back with memberships and with super stickers. These are just great ways to show support in the channel. Like I said, I have a couple of projects in the works that'll come out next year, and you help fund those as well. All right, so let's begin with membership first. All right, I'm going to try to say first names only and try to pronounce them the best that I can. All right, welcome to or welcome back to the following members. Story Scene, Paula R. Rhines, Lady Intrigue, Illuminating Manuscript, Michelle, Gloria, Esmeralda, Kim Priestess, Claudia, E. Jimenez, I think it is, and Smargata, I think. I hope I said that correctly. Thank you guys for your kindness, for your support, for being a part of this community. I appreciate that. Let me take a moment here as well to validate those who also gave back a little bit. So let's start off with those that are celebrating an anniversary or who might have gifted some memberships. So Lady Intrigue, I don't know if I said welcome to you, but welcome to you as well, because you might have joined right before the live stream. Okay, Colette, you gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Rafaela, a member for 15 months. That's amazing, almost a year and a half. Thank you so much for your time. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. And I think those are all the folks that gifted. Okay, so let's take a look at those who gave back with a super sticker or a super chat. Okay, so we have a small list here so we can get through it. Donna, that's such a generous contribution. Thank you so much. Shelly, Rafaela, Monica, and Jeannie. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate your love and support. You guys make it all worthwhile. And I just saw a new one coming in here. Mobot Industries, thank you as well. Hopefully I got everybody there. All right, just a couple of quick notes here and then we'll wrap up. Again, to anybody celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed the countdown. I'm starting to change it up a little bit each week, and I think that solved our issues with having things start late. If you want to follow me on social media, please do so. I'll announce all upcoming videos or news and events on the main community channel page here and also on these social media platforms. Thanks to all that gave back with super stickers and super chat. You can also become a member. You can do this anytime that you watch. I appreciate you. Keep an eye out for anybody that pretends to be me but isn't. Remember, I don't give private readings. I don't use direct messages. So if somebody's messaging you, it's not me. And if you ever need just clarity on where to find me or what's next, you can always go to my website. All right, Apollo is behind me. Let me get the camera up and then we're gonna wrap up for today. He moved, so let me just kind of change the focus. Okay, so thank you so much to everybody for showing up today. I appreciate your love and support. I hope you enjoyed today's reading. Let's give Apollo some love and then we'll wrap up. Hey, buddy. You good boy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. All right, everybody. Thank you. I hope you had a great time here today. I appreciate your time and energy. I will see you again, same time, same place next week. And again, hopefully by the end of next week, all the December ones will be up. Keep an eye out on social media and on the community tab. Thanks again to Dakota for your help. If I missed anybody that gave a late contribution, I'll see it on replay. Much love and light. See you soon. Bye-bye.